What's up, guys? Welcome to Kerbal Space Program. If you don't know, haven't checked it out yet, pick it up, check it out if you like anything to do with space. Rubicon 15 here, and I've been playing this game for a pretty good little bit off camera, just never really got into it, to recording it. Thought I'd, just mess around with it, had some extra time over the holidays, and thought I would jump in and do an episode. So, as you can see, we're in a time lapse, and what I'm doing is I've started a new career right before I got the episode started. And I did a couple missions just to get us some money where you wouldn't have to witness all of the horrible trial by fire, and I mean that literally, experiments to get money and just enough stuff to actually, get out of Kerbin's atmosphere. So we're doing a speed build real quick to get something into an atmosphere, and this is not on a contract. I think I end up satisfying a contract while I'm in it, but I just wanted to get in here and get a probe in space where I could have some communications, get my sat scan going, and do that kind of thing. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this game, the big thing in here is there's a lot of realistic, well, it's mostly realistic things going on, whether that's your thrust to weight ratios, your flight models, your aerodynamics, all that stuff is a big part of this game. Now, like I said, I started this career probably about an hour before I did this episode, and I don't have all of the stuff to make the rockets look pretty. I don't have it yet. In my other career, I do, but not on this one. So they're going to be a little Frankenstein from the beginning. So get used to that, but as your career progresses, as your space program develops, does more flights, gets more reputation, it definitely gets better. So you can see here, and if you're kind of scratching your head a little bit, don't worry too much. I'm gonna make a cut, and then I'll show you some do's and don'ts. So you see all the stuff going on the top. Keep an eye on that. It definitely changes. And cut. Loading screen. Oh, loading screen. Why are you taking forever? See? Nah, there we go. Here we go. Alright, so we're back out of the time lapse, and we're going to launch this bad boy. Now, in both careers, I have never used MechJeb. Never, ever used it. Have watched people use it all the time. Never actually got to. So I'm going to play with it a little bit here. And if you don't know, MechJeb is kind of like an autopilot. He helps you out. Jeb is one of the pilots. He's the most famous one. So there you go. This is the mechanical version. I think the description is they take Jabe's brain, put it in cryo freeze, and stick it in every little computer chip. So here we go. So MechJeb's flying us, and you can see we're doing pretty good. And we're shooting for an apoapsis of about 250. I know I put 71 in there, but I had just been messing around with it and see if that get us into orbit and then go from there. So pull up all of our little stuff, and there actually is some really good info in MechJeb. And in the vanilla game, you can't see your apoapsis, periapsis, a lot of the orbital information in the actual in-flight screen, which really drives me nuts. So it's good. Kerbal Engineer Redo is also in here. It's great to have. So there's 2 mods there that I'm using. I'd loaded a couple more, but never really got too far into them. Some electronics mods, science mods, stuff like that. But mostly a stock game. So as you can see, we're flying pretty good. We're going way too fast and way too flat for me. I mean, I'm one that like to get up and get out of the atmosphere and get the engine cut and coast. But as I said, MechJeb's piloting it, and we're about to get some flame effects here in just a second. They should start developing, because you see we're going way too fast and way too flat to do this. Here they come. So flame effects, you're fighting the atmosphere way too hard. So this, sadly, we wasted a lot of fuel, but hey, we end up getting there. So the purpose of this probe was to get up, get around space, get my sat scan, which is a satellite scan of the planet going, getting some science back into space, and getting a relay out of the atmosphere, so that when we do launch probes in the future, we can get everything kind of going. Here's where MechJeb goes crazy. So as you can see, I turned him off to just save him from just burning up more fuel, because he was about to keep accelerating. So turned it off, and under realistic, that would burn up in the atmosphere. So we got lucky, nothing overheated. So jump to the map screen, and get our orbit straightened out. So as you can see, we're not quite in orbit yet. We're going to come back down. We're definitely suborbital. So going to get around with it, messing with it, and we'll get us back moving. So I forgot, didn't cut him before I staged. So here we go. We'll get our apoapsis up. And there we go. A little more. So this is also something I forgot. If you don't upgrade your tracking station, you can't time warp as fast. So that was my bad. So here we go. We had to do it the old-fashioned way, up at the top. I think this was actually the first upgrade I did once I got back to Kerbin and got everything upgraded so I could time warp and track spacecraft and stuff like that. So there's definitely that. If you are thinking about picking this game up and it looks daunting, okay, it did to me too when I first got it. So yes, the first couple times you're gonna blow up in low Kerbin atmosphere if you make it that far. Best piece of advice, go check out, continue watching my channel if you like it. Scott Manley is where I learned a lot of stuff. Does a great channel. I hope he doesn't mind me plugging his channel. It's fantastic. Quill18 does great. Marcus House, fantastic. His videos are usually very short and to the point. So if you want to know it and want to know it quick, go check it out. He'll run through it. Those are my three that I watch. In order, I watch Scott Manley, the vast majority to learn, and then Marcus House second, Quill18 third. So go get them, check those guys out. They will not steer you wrong, and they do fantastic work. So alright, as you can see, we're getting our orbit, actually in orbit, and we're going to get back down and get everything start working. So here's my little probe. We'll deploy our ScanSat, get it working, and don't ask me why I like to do this. I just do. I think it looks awesome. I think it's, it's a purpose being in space, because I have yet in either career to do the ore mining, do the asteroid catches and all that and stuff, and until now I'm terrible at rendezvous, so I haven't built my space station yet. So me and MechJeb, we're going to learn that one. But a couple little tips for people starting out. One, make sure you put your antennas on, your communications device, batteries, stuff of that nature. If you're going to be a probe in space, put solar panels or something to get up where you can regenerate electricity. If you don't, you'll lose it. You can't generate power, and you'll use up all your probe core, all your battery cores. So, and then you just got floating debris. So there's that. Number two, as Scott Manley says, check yo staging. Alright, what that means, staging is how your rocket fires from on the pad to into space. Each separation, if you will, is a stage. Your first one is to get you off the pad and getting you traveling quickly into space in the beginning. Your first one's probably going to be a solid rocket booster. It's just, you saw I had 4 on there. That gets you a quick bang and you're up and moving. A lot of times though, you will way overpower what your ship needs. Like mine, you saw in the speed build, I turned mine down to a fraction of what they should be to get a longer burn and to get a more slow, stable burn, because you will overheat yours going quickly into space, and you cannot slow down solid rocket boosters. So back to the video real quick. You can see we're orbiting. We've got, the little ScanSat moving. Science Here Now is one of the mods that I do. It just alerts you when you get a new biome, a new spot to do science. So we're winding down this mission. We're about 10 minutes in, if that, about 9.5. So what I'm going to do for just a little bit is put some of the don'ts and some of the mess ups on a time lapse, and let y'all watch and laugh at those for the next 3 or 4 minutes. So as you can see, before we go, MechJeb is fantastic, but it will waste a lot of fuel and take a very bad trajectory. There you go. So hope you enjoy humorous part, and we'll get some good music. Thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, and see y'all in the future. Thank you.